Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to whoever may be watching this. I am Alcordo Dan CJE from the group Livenger, here to present our 5 concepts that show the effects of globalization to communication. Now, without further ado, let us begin with our first presenter, EJ Nazarita, followed by the video of Jerry Jimenez, and then followed by Rain Espinosa, and then Ezekiel Domingo, and last but not the least, Gian Russell Ilau's video presentation.
Hi, I'm Injivin Sarita. I'm going to discuss about a concept of globalization in communication called improving the ways in which we connect with one another. In an era characterized by rapid technological advancement, globalization and communication have become a vital partners for shaping the way we connect with one another. The progression from traditional methods of communication to the current digital world has altered both the depth and complexity of how we communicate with one another. In the not so distant past, connecting with distant families, friends, and acquaintances was considerably more time consuming and deliberate process. Written letters were the primary form of communication, and they were typically exchanged over the course of days or even weeks. Similar to how the invention of telephone represented a breakthrough in communication, real-time real-time talks were now possible but restricted to a certain place. However, the widespread use of smartphones caused significant changes in the way people communicate. These pocket-sized phones have evolved beyond their initial purpose as mere telephonic devices. They are now multifunctional devices that act as an access point to a wide range of communication channels, from messaging apps to social media networks. People may now instantly exchange messages, photographs, and video calls, thanks to services like Messenger, WhatsApp, and etc. And now, here's a situational example on how we communicate in the past and present. Communicating through written letters. In the past, before the widespread use of technology, Sarah and Maria were best friends who lived in different cities. They communicated through handwritten letters, would pour her thoughts onto paper, sharing stories of her life, hopes, and dreams. Maria would eagerly await each letter, cherishing the personal touch, the anticipation that came with receiving a physical letter. In the present day, Sarah and Maria still maintain their friendship, but they now use instant messaging apps and video calls. They exchange messages in real time, sharing photos and videos of their daily activities. They also have face-to-face video calls, allowing them to see each other and engage in conversations as if they were in the same room. Here's another example. Communicating through telephones. In the past, during the family reunions, Mark would eagerly anticipate the phone call from his cousin, Jacob, who lived in a different country. The whole family would gather around the telephone, excited to hear Alex's voice, catch up on each other's lives. The call brought a sense of togetherness despite the physical distance. In the present time, the family still gathers, but now they do so virtually using video conferencing platforms. Mark and Jacob, along with the rest of the family, join a video call where they can see and interact with each other in real time. They share updates, stories, and laughter just as they would during an in-person gathering. In the past, written letters and phone calls were the primary means of communication over long distances. They offered a sense of anticipation and personal connection, with written letters providing a tangible keepsake. In the present, technological advancements have introduced instant messaging, video calls, and social media, offering immediate and interactive communication. While this allows for more frequent and spontaneous interactions, it may sometimes lack the tangible physical element that comes with a handwritten letter. Overall, both past and present methods of communication hold their own charm and serve different purposes in fostering connections between individuals. with modern technology providing wider array of options, staying connected. Thank you for listening.
One of the effects of globalization to communication is that it helped develop educational opportunities, rethink how and why we communicate, and create a new system. One of the few examples are Google Classroom, Google Meet, and Zoom. These programs were used back in the pandemic in order to continue our communication, whether it is on school or a company where they need to, of course, talk to each other, communicate, brainstorm, and do something for the company. Like in Google Classroom, we can communicate with our teachers and ask them for a follow up or change of deadline from the activities. The same way goes for Google Meet. The teachers and the students or learners are able to communicate with each other through a video call or a voice call, and sometimes the teachers are even able to present their presentation or PowerPoints through screen sharing.
Another concept is about the opportunity to view diverse perspectives that were outside of our scope before. This opportunity to view diverse perspectives that were once outside of our scope has had a very significant impact on our society. In the past, we used to had limited access of information and having trouble in understanding different cultures and beliefs. This cause is because of the lacking information that was available to us during that time. But however, with the advancing and developing technology, it increased our connectivity and results today. The barrier that which limited our scope before have been now broken down. A great example of it is about through social media platforms. We can interact different individuals from various cultures and backgrounds that enables us to appreciate their unique experiences. This exposure fosters empathy and tolerance and promotes more inclusive society where everyone's voice is heard. The exposure to these diverse perspectives have grown tolerance and empathy. As a result, among individuals, it allowed us to appreciate cultural differences and challenge our own assumptions. This concept really had a proof to this day as we now have a deeper understanding of international problems like poverty, climate change, and human rights violations, thanks to globalizations and communication.
Oh, what's with the long face? Ah, well, actually, I just recently started this small business. It's a small cafe. Really? That's good news then. Um, kind of. But the thing is, it's been 2 days now, but the sales still stagnant. That's why I'm worrying now. Do you know any tips to, you know, sort that out? Hmm. If what you're worrying about is the sales, then there might be just some problems on your advertisement tactic. Tell me about it. That's actually the first thing that came to my mind. But you know how expensive ads on TV, right? That would definitely cost me an arm and leg. Even billboards to busy areas are also out of my reach right now. Who says anything about TV and billboard? We're now living the 21st century. TV and billboard were basically just obsolete now, let alone for small businesses. Because of the technology that we have now, advertising are more accessible and easier compared to back then. What do you mean? Through internet, or even more specific, through social media. These days, social media platforms are being used for a variety of purposes other than just socializing. And that's one of the beauty that innovation and globalization brings to our life. We can now use social media for our businesses by means of promoting it. Hmm, I see. Besides that, internet has far more reach compared to our local television and billboard because internet is pretty much accessible all around the globe, increasing the popularity of your business. That's such a great advice, but another problem I have is making an ad or a poster to post online. Hiring a pro to make it is also expensive, you know. I know that because I hired someone to make the logo for my cafe. Well, in this age, you can also do that on your own. Unlike then where you can only make digital art on computers, editing softwares are now also available in our smartphones. Um, you mean like Photoshop? That's one of it. But there are more innovative apps that are more simpler and easier to use. And there's a plethora of it online. But if you really have no idea how to use it, then you can just easily search it up. There's a bunch of tutorials available online naman. Another innovation that is now abundant because of internet, or we could also say globalization plays a significant role into making it. Those are really wonderful advice. I would definitely do that. Thank you. Ah, no problem. It is undeniable that globalization significantly affects the way we apply communication in our daily lives. Actually, globalization prompted a huge impact in our lives in general, especially in economics. Since globalization involves transmitting of information, knowledge, goods, and services globally, many innovations were also brought forth that aids our lives and improve our state of living. Those innovations are visible in our surroundings, for most of the things you have now and things that we're indulging are a product of globalization. From the vehicles, fast food chain, structures, and to our smartphones, all of it are a fruit of globalization. Like in the example that I have provided, it shows how internet aids in business. By utilizing the use of social media into marketing platform, this innovates it into multi-purpose tool for communication from a sole socializing app into marketing app. Another example also showed how PC software applications were innovated to be functionable in our smartphones, allowing more accessibility and efficiency. Those are just some of the benefits that globalization brought to our life. Some are still developing, and let's just wait to see what the future of globalization has to offer.
Globalization has profoundly transformed our world, reconnecting people, cultures, economies, and information on an unprecedented scale. One example that exemplifies how globalization has helped create a brand new world is the rise of global technology industry and the emergence of digital giants like Apple, Google, and Facebook. The digital world created by globalization has enabled a rapid exchange of culture and ideas. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have allowed people from different cultures to connect, share their experience, and influence each other. Trends, ideas, and cultural movement can now spread globally within minutes, contributing to a more interconnected and diverse world. In summary, globalization has created a brand new world in which technology, information, and ideas flow across borders more freely than ever before. This interconnected has brought about both opportunities and challenges shaping our world in ways that were unimaginable just a few decades ago.
And that will be all for the presentation of Livenger. Once again, Alcordo Dan CJE, signing out.